extra time.
How happy are you with where you're at going into day 5, and how confident that you can win the game from here?
Yeah, we're really happy where we're at. Obviously, with that many runs on the board, we're ahead of the game. We played some really good cricket in this game, and we're confident that we can create enough chances to win the game tomorrow. So yeah, I think we're in a really strong position, and we just need to work hard tomorrow and show the right character and do the basics really, really well tomorrow. And I think regardless of the fact that India have got some really strong batters and some great batsmen in their side, I think we've got enough in the tank to make sure that we can win.
The decision not to declare in the evening session, but also not to accelerate the run rate. Can you just explain the thinking from the dressing room point of view?
Well, I think the guys were positive in the way they played, and I don't think it's a straightforward pitch to just go and be reckless in trying to score runs. But we were very comfortable with the amount of overs we wanted to bowl tonight, and that obviously gives us a bit of a bite with a second new ball tomorrow if required. I think 20 overs or so with the new ball tomorrow. So in terms of the position of the game, we're really comfortable where we're at. Were
you slightly concerned at India chasing that total down? Was that the thinking, not to give them a sniff?
Well, definitely. It's obviously first game of the series. And whilst you want to get off to a really strong start, you don't really want to give India a chance to win. However, saying that, they've got some fine players, and you also want to be able to have attacking fielders the whole day, especially to our spin bowlers around the bat. And so to get as many runs as we can and to keep the rate high for them, feels like our best chance to win the game.
John, was the plan to get where you arrived, around about 419 ahead, just over 100 overs to bowl, or would you have liked more time to bowl at India?
That was about the plan. That's where we were thinking all the way through the day. And like I said, it's the pitch is good but tricky. So accelerating against experienced Indians in India isn't always straightforward. So I think you saw the guys play pretty positively and with good intent to score, but within the constraints of the conditions.
There seemed to be a clear change in tactics, though, when Ollie Pope was out. It was 4.5 and over until then, and then it turned into 2.5 over for the rest of the innings. Was there a sort of conversation about that? Actually, we need to change course here.
No, not necessarily. I think the guys just tried to play the situation as best they could. It was, again, it wasn't straightforward on a turning wicket with Ashwin bowling well. It's not straightforward to just go out and smack the ball around all over the place. Joe's in the form of his life, and he scored at a really good rate. Which he makes the game look a lot easier than other players. So we're very comfortable and confident in the position we're in.
There'll be a lot of focus on the spinners tomorrow. What sort of role do you think the pace bowlers will have to play tomorrow?
Well, I think you saw with the Indian side, they mix their spinners and their seamers really nicely. There's a patch on the wicket where, so I think it's about 7 metres down, 7 metre length on just outside off from the pavilion end here, where there's some variable bounce and there's some puffs of dust sometimes where the wicket's breaking up. So, and there will also be reverse swing. We've seen reverse swing throughout this game. But the pace of the wicket is that the ball doesn't really carry that much to the keeper, so you have to try and beat the batsman on the inside of his bat rather than on the outside. Our fast bowlers will have a job to play, and they just need to all the bowlers really need to do their basics really well tomorrow, and I think we'll come out on top.
G'day, John. You've got two, I guess, relatively inexperienced spinners who are going to be asked to do a lot of the work tomorrow. I wondered a couple of things. One, how much the declaration decision was about not exactly protecting them, but not exposing them up to a point, and also how much of your role is to ensure that they feel confident throughout this trip, which at times is going to be really difficult.
I think as a coach, your role is always to build your players' confidence. And so that goes without saying. You can get these guys walking out onto the field feeling full of confidence. You pretty much try anything you can to do that. To be honest with you, in terms of protecting them, we definitely never thought about that as a tactic. I think having the ability to have attacking fielders around the bat the whole day. So with the rate being as high as it is for them to win the game, it gives us the opportunity to have attacking fielders around the bat the whole day. So I think we're in a really strong position to do that, and therefore if we can create those chances to those close fielders, then it's nine balls, and I'm sure between the 5, 6, 7 bowlers potentially that are out there, we've got enough on the field to do that job.
John, hi. I was going to ask you about Jack Leach. Obviously, Pants got after him a little bit yesterday, but he bowled pretty tidily after that, and obviously produced a bit of a daffer this evening. How do you think he's been going?
Well, I was so pleased that he got that wicket tonight. I thought he really deserved that. I thought yesterday, and to be honest with you, this morning I thought he bowled really well, and yesterday I thought that obviously Pant got after him. He was asked to do a really specific job for the team, and I thought that what Pant's options were really high risk, and Jack was continually asked to put the ball out wide into the rough, and I thought he did that job really well for the team. And we felt that by doing that, Pant would eventually make a mistake. Obviously, he got more runs than we would have wanted him to, but I think the percentage was still very much in Jack's favour the way he was bowling.
Do you think that Jack's been through a lot of his life, health issues and so on? So do you think perhaps with him being hit for a few sixes is not the most, not the worst thing in the world, really? He's got what he's been through gives him a bit of a perspective.
Well, I just think that every day as a cricketer you go out and you want to get 5 wickets or you want to get 100. You know what I mean? But that doesn't often happen. So if you can do that, so you're going to have probably more bad days than good days as a cricketer. You're going to have to deal with those. But Jack, I thought, showed his character the way he came back today, and after Ant got out yesterday, the way he came back then. And he bowled very, very tidily then, and he's obviously bowled really tidily tonight. And I couldn't be more pleased with the fact that he's come out and bowled an absolute beauty to get Rohit out this evening. He was obviously a class player. So he looks a real threat on this pitch moving forward, and he could walk away with 4 or 5 wickets tomorrow, maybe even more, and we can win a Test match. And I'm pretty sure people won't be talking about Rishabh Pant's first innings runs if he does that.
Hi, John. I was going to ask on Jack as well. So with the new ball in the second innings, what was the thinking of giving it to him rather than Jimmy Anderson?
I think you saw the Indians take the new ball with the spinners, with the brand new ball, and the spin bowlers, some skid, some turn. It gives you an inside edge and outside edge of the bat to attack. And I think Jack showed tonight that he did that really nicely. He's done something he's done for Somerset regularly down in Taunton, something he's really used to, and we're really confident in him doing that job for the team.
Yeah, hi John. I just wanted to ask you about James Anderson and his input, not only obviously as a bowler on the field, but in the dressing room. We saw Joe Root having sort of a lengthy chat with him, maybe about the time to bowl and the declaration, if it did come, a bit like he was chatting with Chris Silverwood. And from your perspective as bowling coach, can you give an insight on James's experience and what he's able to bring in addition to obviously his skills as a bowler? Well,
you've got 2 outstanding ambassadors for English cricket in Broad and Anderson, who are integral parts of the dressing room. That experience as a bowling coach in your attack is unbelievably valuable. They've played in all the conditions possible and been successful in all the conditions, and are still really determined to win games of cricket for England, and not only that, to help bring through the next group of fast bowlers as well. So Jimmy and Broady are exceptional at imparting their knowledge and sharing their knowledge in their own way. Broady's a little bit more vocal than Jimmy, and he bounces around at practice. He is a little bit more internal, but if you when you're on the field, I can see him communicating all the time with the bowlers. If you watch closely from the sidelines or the press box, you can see how often that Jimmy and Broady are talking to the guys, talking to Jofra, talking to Stokesy, talking to Mark Wood and Sam Curran in previous games. That like their communication and their knowledge and the way they share it is invaluable for both me as a coach, but also for the team to be a team. So they're great team men and obviously great pros themselves.
So just what was Jimmy saying to Joe? Let me out there with the bat or with the ball?
Bit of both. I think he fancied his chances with the bat. I think they were talking through the situation, and that was obviously the immediate situation that was going on at the time, and whether or not they were going to declare in 1 or 2 or 3 overs time. And what happened was the game naturally took its course, which generally in cricket matches is the best way, because you get bowled out and you just go and play the game, so you don't have to make decisions.
Hey John, I have a pretty specific question. Tomorrow, Rishabh Pant will no doubt try to go for the kill. So, are you guys planning to? Are you guys planning to stick to what Dombes did in the first innings and Nathan Lyon did throughout down under, or is there any particular plan in place to tie him down, Rishabh Pant?
Well, obviously Rishabh plays the way he plays. In our eyes, he takes high percentage risks. In his eyes, he probably takes low percentage risks. So somewhere in the middle, we'll find a balance. And in terms of specific plans, I wouldn't say that we have specific plans for every Indian batsman, which probably I'm not going to share with you here. But we'll stick to trying to get the percentages very much in our favour in terms of trying to get him out.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.